Greetings, dear listeners. Before I begin this tale of quiet betrayal and the day I finally chose to feed myself instead of a future that never arrived, I humbly ask for your support. Please hit that like button, subscribe if the channel brings you stories that touch your heart, and drop a comment. Tell me which city or country you're listening from today. It always fills me with warmth to see how far these words travel. Now, settle in. This is the story of how a mother's patience finally shattered, not with screams, but with the soft clink of porcelain being sold and the taste of freedom on my tongue. My name is Eleanor Marie Whitaker. I turned 72 last spring, though the mirror still shows me the same determined eyes I had at 30. For 40 years, I worked as a seamstress in a small shop on my piece over 15 years, sacrificing small luxuries so that one day, when my daughter Celeste married, we could set a table worthy of joy. Celeste was my only child, bright, beautiful, restless. She had my eyes, but none of my patience. From the time she was small, she wanted more clothes, more trips, more everything. I gave what I could. When she wanted ballet lessons, I took extra sewing at night. When she wanted college, I signed the loans, even though my hand shook. When she graduated and moved to an apartment in Center City, I helped with the deposit. And every time she came home, she would open the sideboard, run her fingers over the gold rims, and say the same thing. "Mom, this set is gorgeous. When I get married, we'll use it for the reception. Promise?" I always promised. But the years passed. Celeste turned 35. No wedding, no fiancé, just a string of boyfriends, weekend getaways, Instagram posts from rooftops and beaches. She worked in marketing. Good salary, but somehow never enough. "Life is expensive in the city, Mom," she would say, laughing. And I would nod, because mothers nod. Then came the summer of the credit card. It was July. The air in Philadelphia was thick, sticky. My Social Security check had arrived on the 3rd, as always. I deposited most of it, kept $200 in cash for groceries and the electric bill. That afternoon, Celeste burst through the front door, wearing oversized sunglasses and a white linen dress. Mom, guess what? I booked a 2-week trip to Santorini, Greece. The pictures are insane. White houses, blue domes, sunsets that look fake. I need a break so bad. I smiled. "That sounds wonderful, honey. When do you leave?" "Next Friday. But, there's a tiny problem." She sat at the kitchen table, twisting her rings. "My card is maxed out from the deposit and flights. I was thinking, could I borrow your credit card? Just for the hotels and some spending money? I'll pay you back as soon as I get my bonus in September. Promise." I looked at her. The same promise she gave about the china. The same promise she gave about visiting more often. The same promise she gave about calling. "Celeste, that's my only card. It's tied to my checking. If something happens..." "Oh, Mom, don't be dramatic. Nothing's gonna happen. It's just 2 weeks. You'll have grits and canned soup, right? You always say you don't need much. It'll be good for you. Intermittent fasting or whatever the doctors say for people your age." She laughed like it was a joke we were both in on. I felt something cold settle in my chest. Not anger yet, just clarity. I handed her the card. She kissed my cheek, hugged me hard, and left in a cloud of vanilla perfume and excitement. The house went quiet again. That night, I stood in the dining room. The sideboard gleamed under the single bulb. I opened the doors. The china waited, untouched for decades. Not a single chip, not a single coffee stain. I lifted one dinner plate. It was lighter than I remembered, delicate as a promise. I carried the entire set, box by box, to the kitchen table. 12 of everything. I counted them twice. Then I opened my laptop. I had never sold anything valuable before, but I knew eBay existed. I knew auction houses existed. I photographed every piece in natural light, wrote honest descriptions. Vintage Limoges porcelain, full service for 12, excellent condition, gold rim intact, rose pattern, circa 1980s, from a smoke-free home. I listed the china first, then the silver. Within 48 hours, the offer started. Serious collectors, museums, brides planning dream weddings.
By the end of the week, I had sold everything. The Limoges went for $4,800 to a woman in Virginia who said it would be the centerpiece of her daughter's bridal shower. The Gorham Chantilly silver brought $3,200 from a dealer in New York. Total, just over $8,000, more money than I had seen in one place since my husband died 20 years ago. I didn't hide it under the mattress. I didn't put it in the bank right away. I walked downtown to Reading Terminal Market, the first time in 15 years I hadn't gone to the discount grocery on the corner. I bought what I wanted. Fresh peaches so ripe the juice ran down my wrist, a wedge of aged Comté cheese that smelled like hay and heaven, thin sliced prosciutto that curled like rose petals, a crusty baguette still warm from the oven, a small jar of black truffle honey, a bottle of chilled Sancerre. I came home with 2 paper bags and set the table. Not in the kitchen, on the chipped formica, in the dining room. I spread my best linen tablecloth, the one Celeste always said was too fancy for every day. I took out one of the remaining plain white plates I kept for daily use. I arranged everything slowly, deliberately. I ate standing at first, then sitting, then leaning back in the chair like a queen. The peach was obscene in its sweetness. The prosciutto melted on my tongue. The wine was crisp, cold, perfect. For the first time in decades, I wasn't eating to survive. I was tasting. Celeste called on the 4th day of her trip. The connection was spotty. Waves crashed in the background. Mom, oh my God, this place is paradise. The villa has a private infinity pool. I met this guy, architect from London. Super sweet. How are you holding up? Still alive on your grits? I sipped my wine. I'm managing just fine, Celeste. She laughed. Good, good. Don't run up the electric bill, okay? And don't forget to water the plants. I left my favorite sandals under the bed. Don't throw them out. I'll be back in 10 days. Maybe I'll bring you a little souvenir, a magnet or something. She hung up. I looked at the empty sideboard. The shelves gaped like open mouths. I smiled. Over the next week, I kept going. I sold the silver candlesticks I had never used, the crystal vase from my wedding, the antique lace table runner my mother embroidered. Each sale added to the pile. I bought more. Fresh figs, a small tin of Ocetric caviar, white truffles shaved over scrambled eggs, a second bottle of champagne, Wu Clicquot, the yellow label. The refrigerator began to look like a jewel box. I didn't hide anything. I wanted her to see. She came back on a Thursday evening. The cab dropped her at the curb. I heard the wheels of her suitcase scraping the pavement, then the key in the lock. The door swung open. Mom, I'm home. Her voice was bright, tanned, expectant. She dropped her bags in the hallway. The smell of sunscreen and salt water followed her. She walked straight to the kitchen. So, what do we have? I ate airplane food for 12 hours. I'm starving. I hope you didn't let everything go bad while I was... She opened the refrigerator.
And froze. The light spilled out, cold and golden. Rows of caviar tins glinted like black pearls. Champagne bottles lay on their sides, labels crisp. Truffle containers, cheese wrapped in wax paper, fruit so exotic it looked painted, dragon fruit, lychee, persimmons, a small mountain of macarons in pastel colors. Smoked salmon fanned out like rose petals. Celeste made a sound, half gasp, half whimper. What the hell is this? She turned slowly. I was sitting at the kitchen table in a silk blouse I had bought that morning. emerald green, the color of new leaves. I held a glass of champagne. Welcome home, Celeste. Her eyes darted from the fridge to me, back to the fridge. Where did this come from? Did you win the lottery? Did you rob a bank? Mom, this is thousands of dollars worth of food. I took a slow sip. The bubbles danced on my tongue. I was hungry, I said simply. You took my card. You left me with an empty pantry and a jar of grits that had 3 spoonfuls left. So I improvised. She laughed, a sharp, nervous bark. Improvised? This isn't improvisation. This is insanity. You can't afford this. Where did the money come from? I stood up, walked to the dining room. She followed. I opened the sideboard doors. Empty. Completely empty. Not a single plate, not a single spoon. Celeste's face drained of color. The china, she whispered. The silver. My wedding set. It was never your wedding set, Celeste. It was mine. I bought it, piece by piece, with money I earned sewing hems at midnight while you slept. I kept it for a day that never came. She reached out, touched the bare shelf as if it might still be there. You sold it. Yes, all of it. Every last piece. She spun around. How much? Enough to eat like a queen for a very long time. Her eyes filled with tears, not sadness, rage. That was mine. That was my future. You had no right. I looked at her calmly. I had every right. They were my things, my memories, my sacrifices. And when I needed to eat, really eat, not survive on watered-down grits, I used them. She started pacing. You're crazy. This is dementia. You're not thinking straight. I'm calling the doctor. We're getting you evaluated. This isn't normal. I picked up my champagne flute. Call whoever you want, Celeste. But before you do, look in the drawer by the phone. She yanked it open. Inside lay the printed itinerary from her trip, the credit card statement, my card, her charges, and the draft email she had accidentally left open on my computer 2 months ago. The email was to a realtor.
Subject: Appraisal and sale of 1427 Pine Street row house. Body: Hi, Mr. Daniels. My mother is elderly and may need to move to assisted living soon. Can you give me a quick estimate on the market value? Also interested in quick cash buyers. Thanks, Celeste Whitaker. She stared at the screen printout. Her hands shook. You went through my email? You left it open. On my computer. In my house. She backed away. That was just research in case something happened to you. Something like you sending me to a home so you could sell this house? Silence. Thick, ugly silence. Then she exploded. You ungrateful! I gave up my youth taking care of you. I could have moved anywhere. I stayed in this city because of you. I laughed. Soft, genuine. You stayed because the rent was cheap and I cooked your meals. You took because I gave. But giving has limits, Celeste, and you crossed mine. She grabbed her suitcase. Fine. Keep your stupid caviar, keep your empty sideboard, but when the money runs out, and it will, don't call me. I'll be gone. For good. She stormed to the door. I called after her. Celeste. She stopped. The locks have been changed. Your key won't work anymore. Your clothes are in the suitcase you never unpacked. There's a storage unit 2 blocks away, month paid. Your mail will be forwarded. She turned, face twisted. You can't kick me out. I'm on the deed. No, honey, you're not. You asked me to add you once. I said no. You never asked again. She screamed, wordless, furious. Then she left. The door slammed so hard the windows rattled. Silence returned. But this silence was different. It was mine. I walked back to the refrigerator, opened it, took out the tin of caviar and a mother-of-pearl spoon I had bought just for this. I sat at the table, spread a cracker, added creme fraiche, added caviar.
one perfect black pearl at a time. I ate slowly. Each bite tasted like the roses on the china I no longer owned. It tasted like freedom, like the end of waiting, like the beginning of me. 2 months later, I listed the house. Not to sell right away, just to see. The realtor came, walked through the empty rooms, noted the light, the original hardwood, the quiet street. Market is hot, Mrs. Whitaker. You could get a very nice price. I smiled. I'm not in a hurry. I just wanted to know what freedom costs. I kept the house, but I changed it. I painted the walls soft cream, bought a small modern table for 2, filled the sideboard with books I actually read, and every Sunday, I set a place for 1. Me. I eat peaches in season, cheese that costs more per pound than I used to earn in a day, and sometimes, when the light is just right, I raise a glass of champagne to the empty shelf where the china used to wait, to the wedding that never happened, to the daughter who never learned gratitude, and to the mother who finally did. I no longer save for later. Later is now, and now tastes delicious. That is the story, dear listeners. A story about promises we make to ourselves and the ones we break when others treat our sacrifices like furniture. Was I too harsh? Did Celeste deserve a second chance? Or had the line been crossed long before the sideboard emptied? Tell me in the comments. Have you ever had to choose yourself over family? Could you sell the dreams you saved for someone else? If this story moved you, please like, subscribe, share. There are so many more tales of quiet strength waiting. And tell me, which city are you tasting freedom from today? With love and respect. Until next time.